Okay, we have Northridge Football. Coach Lolley, give us your opening statement.
Ryan Lolley, quarterback, Rowdy, Christensen, Nick Sherman, who's an athlete for us. He plays a receiver, also plays defensive back, and plays multiple special teams. Just getting into what we went through thus far. I felt like we had a really good off season. We feel like it's about 11 and a half months process to prepare for each year. We feel like we had a great off season in the weight room, and bled right into our summer. I thought our summer camp was very good. The guys worked really hard. We had guys, our attendance was really high. We got a motto, we show up and do the work. We feel like we did both of those very well. And then going into fall camp, that's where you kind of putting all the pieces together. You start to really get into football and, being able to get some pads on and be physical. We felt like we've had a really good fall camp. Been very fortunate to not have an injury. And I don't care who you are, whether you're Alabama or Northridge or whoever, you got to stay healthy to be great. And we've been blessed and fortunate. That's something we pray about all the time, is making sure, trying to stay healthy as possible. It's a physical game, so we know injuries come with that. So we've been blessed so far to stay healthy in fall camp. We've had 2 changes in coordinators. I feel like our offense and defense have adapted very well there. I feel like in our special teams, we have 2 specialists that I would say are as best as anybody in the state of Alabama. And our punter, Anderson Green, our kicker, Tucker Cordelius, probably 2 specialists in 6A football. Wouldn't trade with anybody. I'm with Coach Stevenson, and she talked about 6A volleyball is probably the toughest in the state. I would say the same about football. 6A South is no doubt the toughest league. 7A's got some tough regions and all that, but a 6A South is tough, and that's something that we're excited about. If you're a competitor, you want to play the best. We feel like you're going to face the best in 6A, and we're excited for those challenges. And we feel like we have a ton of potential, and we're excited to change that into some production. So how we have to do that is having the right mindset, the right attitude. That's the greatest thing about team sports, is football in general, or volleyball, or whatever sport that you're doing, is it's a great teacher of life. It's because there's one thing for sure you're going to face is a ton of adversity. So how you respond to that adversity is how you're going to be. And we've had some adversity throughout the summer. We're dealing with the heat and all that, just like everybody else. So we take a so what now what mentality, and whatever comes our way, we just take it, overcome it, and try to get better each and every day, and stay focused on making it about us and we, and not an I and me thing, because we're in a culture now, and it's been like that for a long time, where everybody wants to make things about themselves, and that usually creates a big disaster. So before they talk, I just want to say we appreciate what you guys have done in the city and trying to make our program be the best it can possibly be and put us on the cutting edge. Coach Hurd, you've done a great job of that, along with the board and everyone else, and Dr. Darius, so we certainly appreciate that.
Okay, young men, what are your season expectations?
Winning it, winning state, going far, but also becoming a better man, a better person. Like, football isn't just a sport, it's a brotherhood, and it can teach you life lessons that go beyond the game, because eventually the game will stop, and what you do after will help you.
Well, I like to tell everybody the main goal is to win state, but to reach other goals, you got to set goals before that. So we want to win a region championship. We want to beat Hillcrest, Magador, Hueytown, all those tough guys. We want to come out of here a better team, better people, better players. We really think that we've got something good going on here. We want to build the culture up more at Northridge. It's been up and down in the past, but we feel that it's in our hands to really pick up the program and get it going.
And I know Coach having some changes in the team with one of the toughest regions here. Talk about how you prepared this team for the challenge that will face you guys.
Well, how you prepare for things tough is make the practices tough, make the workouts tough, and we feel like we do that. But the cool thing about this team is this, and I've said this for years, but when your best players are your best people, you have a chance to be really great. Because at the end of the day, every team has average players, all right? And to me, that's where you win, all right? But if your best players are your best people, that group right there that you're going to win with, they start gravitating that way. And then your young guys are gravitating to where those guys are at average. Those freshmen or those sophomores are in their first year. So one of the unique things about our teams, because every team is not going to be like that, but our best players are our best people, which they set the standard for what we want Northridge football to look like. And, we talk about our culture, and everybody talks about culture, but at the end of the day, if we're making it about each other and making it about, like Nick was referring to it as a brotherhood, that's something that, we say around our locker room. That's not really just, coach speak or interview speech. That's something that we want it to be like. We're going to get after each other's tail each and every day at practice, but at the end of the day, nobody else is going to mess with any of our guys, and we're going to focus on being the best version of ourselves, to make our team be the best version of itself, to be able to compete at a high level, which I think is the best region in 6A, without a doubt.
Okay, young men, Coach brought you guys here. We know that you're leaders on this team. Talk about your role and the role you play in helping the other young guys. And sometimes when it's tough, how do you guys kind of push through as leaders and get everybody on the same page?
As Coach mentions, like when you're a leader, people are always looking to you during the highs, during the lows. So how you adapt and how you handle the situation, I feel like it helps us. And so if we're down or losing or something and everybody's down, being a leader, I can just let them know that it's okay. Like, we got to face adversity, so you can't just sit down and pout about it. How you handle it will determine the fate of the game.
We like to go by a so what, now what mentality. So, like he said, when we get down, guys are looking to us, and that's the thing about this team. We know that guys are looking to us. So, not only do we have great leaders, but we've also got a bunch of guys that want to follow and that are ready to be led. And really, when you have those two things, when you have great leaders and great followers, then you've really got something going on for you. But they make it easy for us to lead. I mean, we've got good guys all around us. We really don't have to do much but do our jobs. If everyone does their job, we'll be successful.
And to all of you guys, Coach, I know that with all of the heat restrictions and the hitting and the contact restrictions, talk about how set that schedule to get everything that where it needs to be, how it's gotten to this point where you want to think you'll be successful with all of that.
Right. Well, I mean, number one, it just takes proper planning, all right? So, we have the heat restrictions. I feel like we have the best athletic trainer there is, and when, Katie brings us the report each and every day, and number one thing in football and any sport is the safety of our student athletes, right? So we're going to make it safe for them, but at the same time, we're going to get the most out of it as possible. So we just have to, properly plan for any type of heat advisories and things like that, because the rules change for what we can do. And so, it's like our guys are saying today on the way over here, Coach, if we got a heat advisory, if we have to stay till 9 o'clock to get out there, we'll do it, so the work ethic and the willingness to get better is great for them. But at the same time, the rules are put in place to protect the players. And then, so if you don't follow them, number one, you're being negligent and you're going to probably end up fired. But number two, you're not keeping the players, best interest in mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our players' best interest in mind. But at the end of the day, it comes down to properly planning. When you properly plan, you can get your players prepared to be great and prepared to have great practices. And then we know that's what, if you want to play well, you got to practice well. That's anybody, even if you're, whatever type of athlete you are. And again, it goes back to kind of what I was talking about earlier. Our best players right now happen to be our best people. So it makes my job a lot easier, because they're setting the example that we want from each and every player that we have on our football team.
And I know every coach wants a fast start, but what has to happen early for you guys to really, get your lead going?
Well, here's one guarantee for sure: bad things are going to happen, and that's why it's such a great teacher in life. Listen to the girls in volleyball. They've had a tremendous amount of success, a lot of respect for Coach Stevenson and what they do, and then you got Coach Sparks in the back. And, his records speak for himself. So I think everybody in sport in general knows one thing for sure: bad things are going to happen. How you going to respond? We can find front runners everywhere, but when you face adversity, how you going to deal with it. So, I think for us, we got to put our players in those situations in practice. That's why we do a lot of one-on-ones and stuff like that, good on good, because bad things are going to happen. He's going to get pressured. He's going to get covered by somebody really good, and so we set ourselves up for the game to be normal to us. I don't think the game's ever going to be easy. I know a lot of people say we want to work so hard to practice, the game's going to be easy. I don't believe that. The game's going to be hard. If you know that the humidity in Alabama, the game's going to be hard just to face that. But we feel like if we work hard and do it the right way at practice every day, it's going to give us the best chance to win. And it comes down to being disciplined to execute, taking care of the football, minimizing penalties, keeping your composure, doing your job, and not trying to do everyone else's. There's a series of things that we talk about all the time to our players. But, the neatest thing is, for coaches to me is this. Coaching is way overrated. If you got really good players that are good people and buy into what you want to do, they're gonna make it happen for you, and that's what I'm excited about. We got great players that are great kids, and we're excited about having a great season. We just want to, obviously stay healthy, and then let this game teach them how to deal with things down the road to be better husbands, better men, and better people in the community. And that's not just coach speak. That's really how I feel.
For the young men, talk about what this game, the lessons you learned from playing a sport in this game that helped you throughout the everyday life.
Just getting knocked down and being able to get back up, and also like Coach Lolley say, every day people are selfish because we get ourselves dressed. So just being able to leave an impact on someone else, being able to help them, even if it's just like with a math problem or anything, just letting someone know that you will help them and you're able to help them. I feel like it's just big to be able to help. That's it.
I'd say the two biggest things for me are, one, the adversity, like they were saying. It really does teach you just to get back up, no matter what it is. Anything in life, if it's schoolwork or something at home, so what, now what? You got to deal with it. You can't feel sorry for yourself. So that's really helped me a lot as I've grown up playing the sport. And then the other thing is the leadership thing. Being the quarterback, you have room to mess up, not a lot of room to mess up. So that's also, I feel like, shaped me into a better person, made me a better person, helped me with treating people better, just stuff like that. But the game really does teach you a lot of life lessons, and that you'll take with you forever.
Your last words that you want to leave with all three of you.
I'll let you go first, you go second, I'll go last.
We're coming.
Just come out and watch. It'll be a show.
Just the last thing for me is, again, I'm blessed to get to coach great young men, and we got a great coaching staff, and to be at Northridge, and being a school that's 20 years old, all right, it's different in the fact that there's a lot of schools around us that have been 90 years in existence and all that, and they talk about different traditions, and that's cool. But I think something that's neat for us and neat for our student athletes are they're able to set some new traditions, and I think you see it with these guys and some of the things they're saying today, and us wanting to take the next step. You see it with the girls today talking about the volleyball. They're talking about where they've got to, and they're wanting to push forward, and the mindset and the mentality they have. And you see it with our, cross country and our, just the whole track program in general. So us being a young school as a 20 years old, I think it's cool that we get to set a lot of the traditions that people will follow 50, 60 years from now. So just we're blessed to be a part of it, and we're excited to get, to hit somebody else. We've been hitting on each other for a while now. So appreciate y'all taking time, letting us do this. Again, Coach Herb, we thank you for what you do for our athletics here in the city, and Dr. Daria and the entire board. And we appreciate our administration at home with Dr. Williams and everyone. So thank you guys.
Thank you.